So sort of on from that, building in public, some interesting things we have tried since the last pod, one of which is rows.com, ROWS.com. It's an AI Excel management sort of tool type thing, AI spreadsheet tool, right? Easiest way to sort of describe it. I guess it's what Xero was to Sage. It's the same thing to Excel, probably.
Yeah.
It's like a newer cloud version. And we put, so we were talking about using it. What we've done since then was we put their privacy policy into Claude and asked it a few questions about what it would do with our data, right? Because any new product, you're like, okay, it looks good, but if you're going to put financial data into it, where's it going to go? What's it going to do with it? Okay. As much as I love reading privacy policies at night, sometimes they're a bit tough to get through. So I put it into Claude, asked it a load of questions, got some interesting stuff out. Like we'll show some of this while we're going through, but ultimately was able to ask it some questions, pinpoint some areas of the privacy policy, go and read the privacy policy myself, check it out, get to a level of comfort that I was like, okay, they seem fairly well set up, and they're not going to sell our data on, and they're not going to do certain things. They seem to pass that first test. Let's get some stuff in there. So we've gone on and we've set our P&L up in there.
Yep.
Cash flow forecast. We're going to do some budgeting in there. And then we want to test out the AI tools, because I'm quite interested in how well stuff like GPT is integrated into it. What I'm interested in, can we run a budget, for example, and instead of the old school way of going, well, okay, if we do, 20% more revenue, then we need, 5 more people to come into the business, and we need to hire them across these months, blah, blah, blah. Can we just ask it to produce a new model for us? Can we just say, if we were to hit this revenue target and maintain, let's say, a 30% net profit and this ratio of, maybe billable versus non-billable heads, build out a new budget for us, right? That would be amazing if it can do that. I don't know if it can, but...
But it's a good test.
It's a good test.
It's a good test. But I think that's interesting, isn't it? But we're doing that across the board. Did the same thing with, and I've not touched Keynote. I didn't ever like PowerPoint, but I've not touched Keynote in 6 months. So Pitch, we did exactly the same thing. You've got old school kind of software, if you like, which is great, but it's not really fit for purpose. So Pitch we've done for our presentational pieces, and there's some AI bits and that coming out, and that's really good. Road's the same thing. But I think that talks to the lean part of the business where we're using the tools, we're using the AI tools within them. We're kind of eating our own dog food, so we're able to kind of use them and then push that out to the market as well, because we're doing it ourselves, which again is because we think the model is broken for agencies and consultancies, and we're sitting nicely in the middle, aren't we, of lean and agile, but knowledgeable as well. And that's what we've kind of gone out with. But you have to use those tools to be able to do that. So I think we're doing that quite successfully. Yeah, exactly. And it's a minefield, right, with the tools, because there's so many now. So it's trying to pick the right ones to use in the right way. And then I think as well, in terms of the building in public, we're trying to build our own tools, right? Yeah.
We're trying to build in 3 key areas of our business to improve our own efficiency. And so that, as we bring people in, we have systems set up. And those 3 areas are recruitment, sales, and strategy, ultimately. And I think that's interesting as well, because I haven't done that before.
Yeah.
Even though I've been in the agency game, we both have for, a while, I haven't taken the approach from, like you would go to with a client into your own agency. And it's sort of eating your own dog food here, isn't it? Because
exactly.
We're using AI to code. We're using AI in recruitment, in our sales, and in our strategy to help get more insight. But ultimately, it's a human, it's a person who's making a decision and running the process.
You need oversight.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like we're trying to automate those things. It's just, how do you make them run smoother, and how do you make sure you don't drop things down the gaps, and how do you get more intelligence into those areas so somebody can come to the right decision quicker? Yeah,
it's using the tools in the right way, isn't it? Understanding how that works, how that can affect our business from the ground up. And it keeps the organisation lean. We are talking about that with various clients, about using some of these tools. But ultimately, like you say, if we do it ourselves and we prove it works and we find out where the pitfalls and the challenges and the results are, and ultimately we've saved a huge amount of time already. We've done recruitment. Obviously, we're fast growing. We've started using that process and for the second and third time now in a row.
Yep.
And we've saved, I think, a significant amount of time, right, in terms of productivity and also time to hire as well.
Yeah, exactly. Really good.